Hi, this is Noam Schaefer with Actively Learn here in Seattle, and today I want to give you guys a brief overview of our solution and show you some of the benefits and help you evaluate whether or not we are a good fit for some of the challenges that you guys are trying to solve at Battleground School District. So today I'm going to log into my account as a teacher, and I'm going to begin here in our catalog, where we have roughly 25,000 different titles to choose from. On the left-hand column here, you see that we can filter by a number of different content areas. We can refine our results by free or rental, commonly used in. Some assignments already have pre-created instruction embedded for you by length, reading level, and even by standard. So for ELA and Humanities, what's important to note here is that we cover a wide range of genres, and all of these titles here are complete works, meaning they're not just small excerpts or paragraphs from the original work, but they are the whole thing. When you get down to social studies, this is actually a collection of hundreds of primary source documents, as well as a digital textbook by Boundless. Science, we have a digital textbook through CK12, and we enable teachers to drill down to individual units that they might like to teach. If you don't find the content that you're looking for in our catalog, you can always upload your own into the workspace. You just click Add Content, and you can either import your own internet articles, Google Docs, or PDFs. Let me show you how to import your article. So let's say we find something here in the New York Times. We'll just copy the URL, paste it here, and here let's just select a grade level, subject area, and a unit. Click Done. And now we have an ad-free version of this article directly in our workspace that we can scaffold and prepare to assign to our students. So once we find certain things that we're looking for, so let's just go into classic novels, and let's take a look at Peter Pan. And so in this particular preview, we see that there are 75 questions embedded, 238 different annotations, and covers a range of different standards here at the bottom. So if it looks good, we'll select it and add it to our workspace. And here in our teacher workspace is where we will go in and build our instruction and scaffold our material. So in Peter Pan, for example, we can go in and add some directions for our students, maybe some learning objectives or things to watch out for. Maybe a pre-reading question here through a poll might help activate prior knowledge or activate some thinking before students actually engage in the assignment itself. And you'll see here that there are some annotations here already there for you. All of them are editable. You can change the category, you can change the substance of the annotation, and if you'd like, you can even add it as extra help, and so that only students who require some extra assistance will get this annotation. So a fairly easy and convenient way to differentiate your instruction. Questions are similar, so you can edit all of these questions. You can change it from short answer to multiple choice to a non-graded poll question. All of our questions are alignable to different standards. And you can also differentiate here by adding extra help directly into the question. And of course, here if I want to add my own question, all I need to do is just highlight part of the text where I want my question to go and click Insert Question. And here I have a fresh question to build on my own. So once this assignment is complete and we have annotated and embedded questions and scaffolded it, we can exit. And now we're ready to assign it to our classroom. So now that we've seen how to build an assignment, let's take a look at what this looks like from the student's perspective. So now in student mode, let's go into the Declaration of Independence assignment that we have here for social studies. Right off the bat, we notice that the teacher has left us some directions, some learning objectives to help guide our reading and focus our attention. In the margins here, you see that we have a note from our teacher with an embedded video of some actors doing a reading of the Declaration of Independence as a way to maybe bring this text to life a little bit. And as we go through the reading, you'll see that although I'm 5% of the way through the reading, I can't progress until I've answered this question. And what this is doing is it's chunking the text so that I'm stopping, I'm self-monitoring my comprehension, and I'm thinking and writing more before I continue to read through the assignment. And so after I've answered my question here, I can now progress. And by the way, I can stop and take a look at what my peers have answered as a way to maybe fill some gaps in my own thinking. And as I'm going, I'm closely reading this text, I'm looking up words that I don't understand in a Merriam-Webster's Learner's Dictionary. Or maybe if I'm an English language learner, I'm translating some of the text into languages that we have here in the platform. We have over 25 different ones here. And maybe I'm also an auditory learner, so I can also highlight the text and ask to hear it aloud. I can speed it up or slow it down, or even change the voice. We want our students to annotate as they read, so I'm highlighting the text and taking notes in the margins. So we're selecting a category here, and now I have the option to share this with the class. So this is a great way to help facilitate conversation and dialogue and engagement in the reading itself. If we really don't understand something, we can highlight part of the text and leave a flag for our teacher to let them know that we're having some trouble. And this enables the teacher to know that we're having some challenges here, and they can either help us directly in the platform, or they can decide to just walk over to us in the classroom and help us out. And lastly, as a student, I have the ability to adjust my text settings. So for instance, if I suffer from dyslexia, I can use this dyslexic setting here to change the font, the size, the words per line, to make this much easier for me to access. But for now, we'll use our standard default setting. So now, let's exit out of student mode and go back to teacher mode so we can see what the students are doing while they're completing this assignment. So here I can see what my students are annotating in the margins, where they might be having some discussions. If I click over one tab, I can see the answers that my students are leaving for the questions. I can provide them quick and easy grades, as well as feedback, and even allow them to revise their answer if that's something that they'd like to do. They can request that to iterate and improve on their thinking and writing as they go. And the third tab is the assignment data tab. And here I can see how much time my students are spending reading, how much they're writing or replying, how many vocab words they're looking up, flags that they're leaving that indicate that they don't understand, and how they're progressing through the questions. And each of these areas below give me even more insight into what my students are doing, what they're comprehending, what they're finding challenging or interesting, and it helps me become a better teacher. As my students complete more assignments, I'm getting a clearer picture of their overall performance in our gradebook. I can see an aggregate view of all their activities and efforts. And then I can also see where there might be gaps in student proficiency by standard or by depth of knowledge level, by content area, or even over time how it's trending. The last tab here is our vocabulary tab, which allows me to see which words students are looking up most often, and this can be in a fairly authentic way to build vocabulary instruction for my classroom. With Actively Learn, we want to make it as easy as possible for teachers to collaborate together. And so here are a few options. One is where you can send a copy of some of your best assignments to your colleagues to help teachers not having to reinvent the wheel. You can also request to co-author an assignment together with another colleague. So you guys can build an assignment together from the comfort of your own home. And lastly, you also have the ability to add your best assignments to a district library. And so this is a great way to share your assignments with other teachers across the district or across your school that they can access for years to come. Our Professional Learning Center makes it really easy for teachers to take on-demand modules and improve in specific instructional areas that our platform supports. So for Activate Thinking, a teacher might like to get better at asking better questions. And so they can take a quick module here that gives them the research behind how to ask really great questions. They can try it directly in our platform. They can see examples of how to actually implement this with exemplary models. And then lastly, they can demonstrate it and submit their work to earn a micro-credential through our partnership with Digital Promise. There are two other modules of Actively Learn that I'm not going to go into too much depth right now, but just to make you aware, we have an independent reading module for students to read high-interest nonfiction articles on their own so that they can rate and review and share with their peers. And we also have student research and project module where students can research content online, annotate, and then begin to construct their papers and projects with our Google Docs add-on. So that about does it for this recording. I hope you've enjoyed it, you've learned something new. I'm always available to continue this conversation in person or over the phone. We're located up in Seattle, so we're close by. In the meantime, if you'd like to learn more, you can go to our website, activelylearn.com. You can read all about our approach and the problem that we solve and the roadblocks to depth. You can read all about our solution and the core components of our platform. Our stories page provides lots of testimonials from teachers from across the country that are using Actively Learn in their classrooms and their case studies that they've written. And our blog website provides a lot of really high quality research and articles about the research that underpins our solution and our approach. So again, thank you for listening, and I hope we get the chance to talk soon. Take care.